Okay, so I wanted to do a quick overview of all the upgrades I've done to my 2023 CVO Road Glide. And I've done a lot. I've changed a few things after the initial setup that I had, but I'm pretty much at a standstill until some more parts get developed for this bike. And right now, what I've done is I've added the BST carbon fiber wheels with the Lindell rotors. Was able to keep the spacing to a minimum. It only took about 5 mils. Then I moved on to the crash bar, and I'm stuck with the Harley crash bar until Centuro finishes their version of it because of the new lower fairing at the bottom there. The older models don't work, but I added the S2 Baja Design fog lights. Gives me better visibility at night, and going there. Typical Harley highway pegs. I think this is the Empire Collection foot pegs. I don't know if I'm gonna keep those or not, but for right now, they work pretty well. I changed out the wedge air cleaner for the Extreme air cleaner. It looks a little bit better, and it actually doesn't interfere with your knee at all, which I thought it would, and I was wrong. So I'm 6 feet tall, got pretty long legs, and the angle is just perfect to where your knee doesn't come in contact with it at all. It's not an impedance at all. Added Krause's Max Lean floorboards. These are amazing. They actually are up about a 1/2 inch and back about 1.5 inches. So you get a lot of floorboard space that's usable, unlike before where the floorboard was way up here. And you know, you lost all this with the foot peg. I also changed out to the Krause brake pedal. Still have the Chrome Works 2-in-1. I love that exhaust. It works perfect. It's loud. It's not over aggressively loud, but it gives me pretty decent performance. Krause's mini floorboards for the back. Santoro Fabworks bag crash bars. Of course, the Corbin seat. I actually love this seat, and compared to Saddlemen, which I've gone with pretty much my whole biking time, this is a really good seat. It's comfortable, it's leather, it's got the provisions for a backrest, which I love. It's nice. Changed out the reflectors, of course, little things like that. I did go with BST in the rear and matching rotors, which you can't really see that well, from Lindell in the rear. Also put the Alloy Art Cush Drive system in. Nothing really available as far as lighting is concerned because of the new electronics that are on the bike. Again, Santoro Fabworks. Everything's on the side. Went with the stock shifter. It's the same as any other alloy shifter. I did put a rear shift delete in there because I don't use the heel shifter. And then up on top here, Big Bear Olin's front end suspension, Krause 10-inch risers, pullback risers, ODI bars, which again, you got to drill out this side in order to accommodate for the heated grip button on the side. And those of you, I know a lot of people have been asking, there is no way you're gonna be able to use a pullback plate unless you totally modify this new clamshell housing that's on there. The risers come straight up off of the triple trees. There's nothing to worry about. You don't need the pullback plate unless you needed the bars back towards you closer. But with the pullback here, you can adjust these bars pretty significantly backwards and forwards, so I don't see a big need for it. But yeah, those of you who've been asking, there's just no way you're gonna be able to use that pullback plate that was required on the old Road Glide platform in order to accommodate for the gauge cluster. So hope that helps you guys that are thinking about going this route. And it'll work with any riser setup that you use, not necessarily just Kraus, but any riser setup that's 3.5 on center setup. It all bolts up to the same triple tree. Oh, I do have Owens in the rear. Work awesome. This bike just, it is such a dream to have this bike. It absolutely is probably the best Harley touring bike I've ever owned. I did upgrade the mirrors because everybody had those other stock mirrors. I forget who makes these, but there's some Italian company that designs stuff for Harley Davidson. Not sure if I like them or not. Doesn't give me a real good field of view, but I like the way that they look. Still waiting on a windshield from Clock. Again, there's not a whole lot of extra things that you can get for these bikes right now because the platform has just changed that much. A couple things I did do. So for the heated gear setup, I ran a pigtail from underneath the seat into the backside of this wind deflector. So I can just plug my heated gear in here now, or I don't have to fumble with taking the seat off, getting the cord out. It gets sold this way. It is from Gerber, I believe. And then also I mounted my fog light switch right here. So that comes on, and that's where they come on, right over here. But and it works really well. It's just enough light to light up the ground. And this is out of the way and hidden, and no chance of knocking it on and leaving it on. So really, folks, that's about all I've got right now. I mean, I do have the tour pack and the other seat, but this is my seat that I ride with when I'm riding solo. Fueling disc dipstick, same as last year's model, same setup. One thing I did end up getting, which will be installed here hopefully soon, is I went ahead and got a new box. And I want to say thanks to Andre at Evolution Industries for hooking me up with all the stuff I need to make the primary bulletproof. Probably install this in the next week or so, but this is going to be one of those peace of mind items to where I don't have to worry about the primary issues that are pretty synonymous with OEM Harley. This is the bump stop item for the automatic tensioner that it keeps it from over tightening the chain. So that's gonna be good. Upgraded spring pack for the hardened compensator. And one thing that I love about this is all this stuff is made in the USA. That's what I like to stick with. And new bolt, I mean, the bolts are cheap, so why not replace it with a better hardened bolt? But yeah, this is, I know there's a lot of videos out there on this clutch pack, so I'm not gonna bore you with it, but the steel plates and the clutch plates are probably 4 times the size of typical normal Harley or Recluse or any of those other options that are out there. So yeah, this is where I'm at so far. Again, I hope Brian at Clockworks get the windshield out soon because this one sucks. It just bounces my head all over the place. It's like the perfect angle for me to have my head on like a bobblehead going down the highway. But as far as anything else, it's probably going to be a year or so before they come out with some performance items. I do have new speakers coming from Volunteer Audio in Tennessee. We're just going to replace the speakers now until they figure out the amp setup for this, but we're going to put some Hertz speakers in there maybe this week, maybe next week, depending on when I get them. And yeah, that's about it. Absolutely love the bike, and other than getting some miles on these BST carbon fiber wheels, which I love. When I dropped it off to get the TPMS sensors redone and the Harley mechanic took it for a ride, he's like, this is a game changer. This totally redefines the way that this bike rides, and it was awesome before. So for him to say that is pretty amazing. Again, you lose probably 100 pounds of sprung weight, which again is amazing on a bike that's already 50, 60 pounds lighter than the last year model. So that's it. I'll keep you up to speed on what's going on, and if anybody's got any questions or any concerns that they've run into or they want my opinion on, please hit me up. Have a great day. Bye.